Good evening, everybody. My name's
Evening.
Rob. Here we've got Lee with his cup. I've got me.
I thought you were going to call me a mug then. Oh, well.
Right. So this is a Bounty Bunch stream. Our duo streams are like our ranty streams, which are next week. So this stream tonight is just going to be talking about films and media. We're going to go on for an hour, and then we'll say goodbye to our guests. We're not brought them on yet, but they'll go within an hour, maybe a bit longer. And then we've got a little thing we've got to talk about at the end that's quite serious. But let's get these guests on. Let's get these guys on. So first, new to the channel, we have. Oh, actually, press wrong button. Give me this fucking hell. Good start. We have AJ.
Hello.
Evening, mate.
Lee.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you for having me on.
No problem. It's been a long time, and we've got the salute. We've got a salute in the menus. Here we have Ricky.
Good evening.
Not Gary.
No,
yeah, not Gary. Definitely not Gary.
Today.
So both of these guys we've wanted to get on for a long time. Not get on, but obviously you know what I'm about.
Yeah, come on.
So,
Hang on.
so this stream, we've all got very similar interests. You know, we all like the Marvels and the DCs. And we're all around about the same age. I think I'm the youngest. Maybe. What?
In the multiverse, maybe,
So
yeah.
where are we going to? Right. So what should we delve into first? So I had a few questions in mind. Let's start off with Lee on this one. So, how much is too much to spend on a film? So what I mean by that is we're all pretty much waiting for Aliens on 4K or True Lies. If they only released that on like a premium edition for a few £100, the only way to get it, how much is too much for a film we've been waiting for a long time? Is there a budget? So Lee, first, what film would you spend that little bit extra on if they release it on a 4K?
I think you know my two films that I want on 4K, Aliens and Terminator. Hopefully with a better scan than Terminator 2. But as for the price, I don't know, it's difficult. Because if it's the only edition they bring out, you've really got to pick it up, haven't you? If they don't bring out a lesser edition, then you've really sort of stuck on picking it up. I mean, at the moment, the most I'm spending is on the Xavier editions, like £100 ones, like the Fifth Element and the First Blood ones. That's sort of my limit, really. I don't want to go above that. I think any more than that is too much, really, even for a film you really like.
But what about a film that you know has potentially got multiple cuts? Like if they released the theatrical cut of Aliens, like they do with like these films, and they'll release like Lord of the Rings when they released the original cut, but inside the box it said special edition available Christmas. I don't know if you remember that when they did that.
Yeah, but a lot of these editions, even when they release them with the director's cuts or extra cuts, a lot of the times you'll get the base edition on 4K and the rest will be on a Blu-ray. So, you could pick the 4K up, and then if you really want the other editions, you could probably get it on a Blu-ray for a tenner. That's the way I look at it now. I mean, I think the prices now are getting a little bit ridiculous on these special editions and the amount of them we're getting. It's like multiple now of different, of the same films on different editions. I mean, AJ, I know this. Same with Steelbooks.
Yeah.
You pick it up on Steelbook, and then you get it on Blu-ray Steelbook, and then 2 years later it comes out on 4K Steelbook, and then they bring out a special edition Steelbook or a collector's edition. So it never ends. But
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to stick to like £100, sort of my limit really for a film now.
Okay. All right, cool. We'll a question down to AJ.
I've got to agree. I mean, what Lee said about, this is the annoying part. Something like Days of Future Past, X-Men, I've not got that on 4K because my go-to version would be the Road Cut.
The Road Cut, yeah.
Which is only available on Blu-ray.
Blu-ray.
Yeah, which is bloody annoying. It really is. And when that sort of thing happens, yeah. So if they did they've got to do all the cuts. I mean, hats off to Warner Brothers for doing Superman 2 with the Donner cut in 4K.
Yeah.
I half expected that to be, just a Blu-ray edition to that set. So, well done to them for that. But even those editions like the Rambo I did get the Rambo one as a gift. I actually cancelled Fifth Element. I don't want to venture into.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, into too many of them, because I've got the Fifth Element. I've got it on 4K. But if it was something like The Abyss or Aliens, something big like that, then yeah, the temptation would definitely be there. But it would have to have, if that extended cut wasn't in 4K on it, then no, I'd probably Blu-ray.
I don't know, but AJ, sometimes you feel like, probably different to me, but sometimes you feel like now you have to, if you're umming and ahhing about an edition, you feel like you have to get it, because if you don't get it, you then end up going to Fleabay and paying triple the price for it. Sometimes it's a bit of a dilemma with special editions for me.
It is, but are you not finding now that they're not selling out so much?
I've noticed that. Yeah, you can still get a lot of them now.
The market's been so flooded with them.
Yeah.
Especially last year. Last year, you went through almost every week of the year with a new special edition.
Yeah.
It was way too much. And with the cost of living increase, people just can't keep up with them. So you end up with them. People are more picky with what they get.
Yeah.
End up getting left behind. I mean, look at the latest Abbey sale. The ones, the copies of stuff they had there.
Yeah.
It's all still available. Admittedly, you'll get the odd one or two that might sell out. But yeah, no, it is I think I'm getting used to leaving some stuff now, and then I find a few days later that sort of need has gone to feel like you have to have. I didn't get none of the Rockies on 4K, and I was fighting with myself over it. But then now it didn't bother me. It's like, okay, I want Rocky 4 because I want the other cut of the film.
Yeah, the cut. Yeah, the cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really advertised anywhere other than on the back of the box, because it's the definitive version, and it's the reason to buy that film, and it's just on the back in tiny letters at the back.
Yeah.
So let's move that question to Ricky. Is there a film that it could be a childhood film or film you're waiting to get released that you would pay that little bit more for, and how much would you spend on that edition?
I'm the same as Lee. £100 max, but if they're releasing Black Rain or Arachnophobia, something like that on 4K, and that was the only version that was going to be out that I'd be bent over a barrel, I'd pay £200-300.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
I think we struggle with the risk reward, because obviously, like that Dragon Ball box that I got recently, the super one. It was 9 steelbooks.
Please,
£100.
Rob. Please don't talk about it.
Obviously, Lee spent 200 on it, so if you wait and miss out,
it dropped down to 80 quid.
Yeah. So do you wait and miss that? Obviously, we've got contacts in America that sort us out now, obviously with a good price. But it's the risk reward. If you really want a special, you pre-order it. You got no advantage to pre-order it, because a lot of the time it's half price within a matter of weeks. Even new releases. I'll go in H&V and I look at some of the boutique ranges, which are like £18 for a Blu-ray. Blu-rays now should be $9.99, and 4Ks should be maybe $14.50 max, because a lot of them don't come with the Blu-ray anymore. So I think they really need to look at the structure of that, because I go in my H&V now and it was all records, tiny bit of media at the back, that's it. But up until last week, they've moved it around again. So all the front is media. So I think they've had a bit of a change around. It's still full up of NECA figures now, NECAs and all your T-shirts, but media's kind of, we're losing it. I think we are losing it.
But you'll never keep up. This is the thing. It's like the recently, Rod, the Batman special editions they brought out. They brought them out in 2 batches. I think the last 2 come out quite recently, didn't they? I was trying to sell, this, Rob. I was selling my 4Ks, getting rid of my 4Ks, my normal 4Ks of them. A few months ago, everyone wanted them. As soon as they come out, I couldn't get rid of them for love nor money. No one wanted them, and I'm expecting, give it a year or two, they'll bring another set out. So you can never sort of keep up with it. It's just constant. And yet, I know AJ spoke about this on his videos before. He's like, when do you stop, like, collecting stuff?
Yeah,
because they know when you Yeah,
Like,
they
if
know
you
how
force
being
it,
collectors that you want it.
like with you and AJ, what about if they go, okay, we're going to stop doing Mondos for Marvel?
Yeah, this is what I mean.
What are you going to do?
I've got a fear about that because I heard some stuff about Mondo recently that they shut down a few of their departments. So I'm a bit worried now. Yeah.
So
Bring up something.
I was with the Mondo situation. I think I did say whether I should stop here at this point.
Yeah.
Because having phases 1, 2, and 3, and then going into, which is, pretty lackluster, really.
Yeah, not the best.
Do I want to get them again? I don't know.
I'm going to bring comments on the bottom. Any questions I'll ask, but I'll scatter them through.
Even with Phase 4, I mean, you'll see this, AJ. Xavi started bringing out like 2 editions. You had the Steelbook edition, and then he's like collector's editions.
That's right, yeah.
And then for me, I bought them, and I think they're the biggest rip-off going in collector's what
Well, you got some art cards and a slip.
It's a slip cover and some smart cards, and it's 45, 50 quid.
Yeah, and then they were in the sale as well, weren't they?
Yeah, of course they was. Yeah, they were in the sale.
I did get the Doctor Strange one.
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah, but yeah, it's that thing. I know it's the OCD thing as well, isn't it? Having the collection, finishing the collection, having all of them, and they get you with that as well. Unfortunately,
but they didn't do it for Black Panther, did they? You didn't get a Black Panther one.
What, a collector's edition?
Or did you? I know you had the 2 separate. Oh, yeah, of course you did. You only had one of the. You had the one. They've
done 3 editions. They've done the special edition with a slip and 2 steelbooks. Yeah, and me like a mug, all of them.
Yeah,
are we all in the same boat? I'll go with Ricky first. Are you a completionist? Like, I don't know how you collect, but like, for example, I'm a big Starship Troopers fan, so I have to own Part 2, which is terrible. Do you have to complete a collection, like, to feel?
Yeah, it's the same with Escape Plan. I love the first one. They released more. They were shit, but I still got them just so I could have them in my collection.
Yeah.
So they'll keep doing them. It's like American Pie. When they started doing the present films, and there's about 9 of them, and they kept making them. And have you got a guilty pleasure, or not a guilty pleasure? Is there a film you really regret owning in a collection?
I get a lot of flack for it. I don't regret it, but Street Fighter, I love that film.
That's one of my favourites.
And you know, the latest that they've announced, they are making another live action Street Fighter film.
They're not, are they?
They are doing it. I don't know. They've done a few TV shows recently that were live action. It was okay. It's again, when we was brought up, we had the Mario Brothers film and the Street Fighter film. We had Double Dragon. You know, these were good films. I can watch Street Fighter and stuff. Like Raul Julia's, he only done the role because his kids loved the games.
Yeah,
and I loved it. Even the end,
last film he was in, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was his last film.
You know, it's got a post-credit scene after the credits.
Well, who has?
It was Street Fighter.
So it's so long, that film.
Raul Julia's fist breaks through the rubble.
Oh, that's right.
He types in world domination on the computer. And he just starts laughing again.
That's one of them.
Yeah,
that's one of them so bad it's good films, isn't it? It's just
when you see Blanca, it's like, what is going on with Blanca?
Please.
Yeah.
It's like the worst cosplay you've ever seen, isn't it?
Yeah.
But stuff like that.
Scientists turn into I can't remember his name. The
Dalsim.
Yeah. But it's great. I love that film.
But then you got Mortal Kombat, which is pure Annihilation, is one of the worst films ever made, but it's amazing.
That one is that the one? What was the one with Christopher Lambert in?
The first one.
That was
5.
Yeah, that was good. But I liked. Is it Dead or Alive?
Yeah, we know why you like that film.
Yeah,
got that last one.
Change the subject.
Yeah.
that didn't have Holly Valance. Valance. There was that
Jamie Presley in it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And wasn't a Holly Valance scene where she's fighting in the towel and all the camera angles where like plant pot hiding and it's like Yeah, and Kevin Nash's Bayman. You know.
Yeah, I've got Blu-ray that somewhere.
Yeah, Rob's got it on. Rob's got it on 4K, ain't you, Rob?
I
They
actually don't
released that
mind
on
it.
4K.
But they did a King of Fighters film, King of Fighters as well, which
Yeah.
was straight to video in the back. It was Ray Park, and every
Really?
film that Ray Park's in, past Phantom Menace, he does the spin with a weapon in every film he's been in. Because obviously I'm Darth Maul. Look at me moves. So same question to AJ. Have you got a film? And I assume you're a completionist of your collection.
Have I got a film that I'm embarrassed to have? Or
Is it the Lundgren Punisher film?
No, I love that.
Even they speed it up when it goes through the tunnel, and they speed it up when he's running from the bike, and it's like fast forward like Benny Hill.
Yeah, great film. It's great. I love that film. But no, if there's one I'd have to pick that I say that I'm embarrassed by, well, not embarrassed by, but that I got, and it's like, why the hell did you get this? It was the Garbage Pail Kids. You must remember that.
Yeah.
Went to cinema see it.
Yeah, I as a kid I loved it. When I was collecting the cards during that era.
I used to have the cards, yeah.
Yeah, then I think as quick as I stopped collecting the cards, I stopped watching the film. Then about a year ago, I thought to myself, I wonder if that's available. And I think I found it in Spain on Blu-ray, imported it, watched it, and I was just like, yeah, nostalgia. Sometimes just leave it be.
Because I'm the same with Mac and Me. I've always said Mac and Me is better than ET until I watch Mac and Me. It's like, this film really ain't good. And it was just an advert for McDonald's. The whole advert is McDonald's and Coke, if I remember. But going back to the Garbage Pail Kids, I know we had the cards or the stickers that are quite expensive. Do you remember the little figures that used to come? Were they with the cards? Little like coloured, they're not coloured figures, they're black or blue, or little figures of the Garbage Pail Kids that come in the newsagents. Did you ever have them?
A vague recollection.
You're older than us, Rob.
Well, was it Messy Tessie and I can't remember don't Google that, people. That is a Garbage Pail Kid character, but don't Google it. Messy Tessie, you don't want to put onto Google search history.
I mean, I remember when I first started collecting cards, I didn't understand that you had an A and B card. You had exactly the same card again, but with a different name to it, and it was like the twin. And it was like, what's this about? Yeah. Until but even then, back then, I think I realised that was a bit of a rip-off.
And you got to that point where he's missing 6 cards, and you had your 5 packs ready, and you got doubles. You never find that card. But easy now, you can go on eBay and like bang, 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 £2, I got that card. You never had that luxury when we was growing up.
No. That's the same for comic collecting, isn't it? With me doing that back in the day when you used to rifle through the comic boxes. Now you just go on eBay, didn't you? Bam, got it.
I just don't get the amount of. So I was a big Ninja Turtles collector of comics, and I should have just gone to omnibuses because you can get one instead of 58,000 comics. But having 7 different covers of this, I went into I went in Worlds Apart. It's a franchise of Forbidden Planet, and I picked up these 5 Turtles comics, took them home. They're all the same one. I didn't realise because they were just different cover variations.
Covers, yeah.
But AJ, we know what attracts you to comic books, the covers. How'd you get away with that in your house?
What, Mrs.?
Yeah, because I could never do that.
Oh, she when she sees them, she says that's just porn. It's porn, that is. I goes, no, it's not. It's not porn.
It's great. I agree with AJ. It's great artwork. It's just great artwork.
Well, no, I think you got the photo covers as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Cosplay photo. Cosplay, all part of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, me and the wife, I used to cosplay as Shredder. She went as April. She dressed up and she was annoyed at people taking pictures of all these girls and her. I said, well, you dressed up to Comic-Con. That's what Comic-Con's about. People wear nothing, pretty much. And it's like, it's different now. It's weird. So Lee, same question to you. I can't remember what the question was.
Film I've got in my collection.
Yeah, film in your collection.
That's about. AJ's probably not going to talk to me after this. Highlander 3.
Mario Van Peebles was that? That was
as AJ will probably know, I love Highlander. It's one of my I adore that film, the first one. It's everything about it, the soundtrack, everything. Yeah, I remember when the second one came out, and I was so disappointed. That was.
But you've not seen the director's cut of 2.
I
keep telling you about it.
I've literally tracked it down. I'm going to watch it. I've seen the second one a few times, and I just, oh no, it's so bad. But then the third one came out, and I thought that was even worse. To me, they should just made the first one, and that was it. The TV show, believe it or not, I've never seen. AJ, I've never seen the TV show.
Really? So after the first season, it actually gets really good.
I've heard it gets really good after that. Yeah, I need to watch it. But what else have I got? E.T.
Nothing wrong with E.T.
Nothing right with it either.
Well, yeah.
You've also got all the Hunger Games films, haven't you? And you've got the Matrix, the fourth Matrix film.
Oh, please. Again, I love the first one. My favourite film, one of my favourites of all time. Second one, okay. Third one, no. The fourth one, I don't know what was going on when they made that fourth one. It made no sense to me whatsoever. I think they disappeared so far out their own asses with that fourth one. It was unbelievable. But you've got to have them all, haven't you? You can't have one. You've got to have the whole collection.
Yeah. So,
yeah, there's a few films I've got I shouldn't really have. Never Ending Story is probably one of them as well.
First one's good. Remaking it.
What? Never Ending Story?
Yeah, it's coming out as well. Yeah.
Joking.
This is it. There's no originality now. You can go back, even if you can go back in Smith's Toys, it's re-releases of stuff we had as a kid. Even films now, I just want, I've got an issue with Terminator Salvation. I think it's terrible, and I don't like number 3. But we've got another Terminator animated show coming.
Yes, Rob. What Terminator do you like, Rob? Tell everyone.
Number 2.
No, what's the other one you like?
Well, Dark Fate.
The best film ever made.
He likes Dark Fate.
I like Dark Fate.
Oh,
I love Dark Fate.
No.
That was like the official Terminator 3.
Yeah. I've got no issues with that. I like the Rev 9. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I like John Connor.
With Arnie being selling drapes. You've got no issues with that. Huh?
Well, that would have probably made a better film than what we actually got.
Yeah, it would have. It could have been instead of the Terminator. You could have called it the Upholsterer.
Well, it's better than the one before. The trailer where John Connor is the Terminator in the trailer. Did you know what I mean? In the one before, it's the one before it.
Yeah, that was the one. But
they couldn't even spell it right. Was it Genesis on the box? It wasn't even spelled right.
Genesis. Rob, I don't know. You like that film?
That started off good and just went absolutely. What the fuck am I watching?
Well, obviously, I don't want to talk about the woke side of films, but yet again, they're changing the roles of these characters. Killing John Connor off in the first. Spoilers. Everyone's seen it in the first
scene. You can't
scene.
have a white man being the savior of the human race. It's got to be an ethnic female.
I don't understand where this is going.
The problem I had with Dark Fate, I mean, Terminator, without going down the political route, Terminator 2, the scene in Terminator 2 where they go to kill. I've had a brain fart moment. Miles Dyson, thank you.
Yep.
She makes the speech to him about you don't know what it's like to have a saint grow inside you. Fantastic speech she gives. And then we go forward to the next Terminator, the one after. And it's all she basically hates. The way she talks like she hates children. There's all that big speech she gives about, you don't need kids, this, that, and kids. And I'm like, completely changed her character, like Sarah Connor, and I hated that. Nothing to do with it being a male or a female savior. Doesn't really bother me. But it's the way they changed her character. I didn't like it. What they did in that one, really didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I thought it was a great film. I thought it was very well shot. I thought the effects were brilliant. Some of the fight scenes were awesome. So
and you get the feels when the music hits. When the music hits, you get the feels, don't you? When you have that fun, it's like, watch the Terminator film. So it's ticking the boxes. Another 2 4Ks I would like to see, which probably going to pick one, the AVP films. I know they've got a lot of hate, but I believe the Queen in the AVP film is better than the one in Aliens.
Yeah, but if they do it in 4K, they'd have to turn the brightness up because you can't see nothing.
I couldn't see what the hell was happening in the second one.
You can't see anything, can you? It's so
I
dark.
was turning the brightness up on my telly back in the day trying to watch it, and it still couldn't see anything.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I think the uncut version of the second one is far better. Not for darkness or brightness, but it's far better film than the cut version. The one that's about 17 minutes longer that came out in the United States and in Germany. I don't know if we got it over here. It built up the Predator a lot more at the beginning, and a lot of stuff made more sense. Yeah, that's far better.
I think looking at, I remember the DVD. It could be a Mandela effect for me. I remember buying the DVD when it came out, and inside it there was a leaflet that said, "This film was supposed to be this dark." I'm sure there was a bit of paper in it. I'm 99% it was in it. I'm going to track it down.
Is that like a bit of paper to give you with Tennant that says you're not meant to hear the audio in this film? I've watched that film 3 times, but I'm still like, what? Oh, it don't matter.
We'll bring a few of these up. So I think we're going to, well, how did we start our conversation about? We're going to mention Marvel, and we're going to mention DC, and we need to go into Star Wars. I think just a general what we all think of the situation. You know, I know AJ with the same with, if they're not released on physical, we'll find other avenues to get them. It's the same as Marvel. You can't buy Phase 4 physically. They won't do a box set. Let's first the start of Marvel. How do we feel it's gone in the last since Infinity War? Are we happy the direction, or do you think we need to have a couple of years out? I'm going to go straight, because Lee's laughing. I'll go straight to AJ on this. So I know he's a big. Obviously, you've been a big comic book reader. Are you more looking at the lore? Like, did you mind like with gender swapping, and if it's done right, or is there anything that you don't like? Big question. Sorry.
I'm not a big fan of gender swapping, nor am I a fan of race swapping either. But I think it depends on whether you. It's a bit of a two-faced opinion, really, because if it's something I don't care about,
yeah,
I'm not going to care. For argument's sake, there was a film that Michael B. Jordan done. I think it was on Netflix, and I think it was based on Tom Clancy property.
Oh, another one. Yeah.
AS agent. Now in the books, he's a white fella.
Yeah.
But I watched that film. I thought, okay, that's pretty good. I wouldn't mind seeing him, Michael B. Jordan do another one of these.
Yeah.
Then I found out I've never read the books, so therefore I didn't care. But if you're talking about swapping the gender of I don't know, it depends really, because I always use Spider-Man as a Miles Morales, right? You've got a compelling character in Miles Morales who isn't Peter Parker.
Yep. What
you've done is you've taken a character, you haven't race swapped a character, you've created a new character, a compelling new character. All right, it's a Spider-Man. And that worked, and I really love that character. But when you actually take a character and say, okay, now we're gonna, for no reason whatsoever, I'm dead against it. Same with I don't know, again, because you look at Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. The new Battlestar Galactica TV series. There was no problem with that swap there. So I think it's a very divided. My opinion, I know it's it can go either way, depending on how I feel about it.
I think a lot of it, like you said, Miles Morales thing, like you said, I think if they do like multiverse characters and do different variants of them, I haven't got a problem. But the problem I have is when they make it the same character but then completely gender swap them or race swap them, and to me that's just like lazy writing, because they can't think of a character like a new character.
Like Wesker in Resident Evil.
Yeah. So they can't think of a new character, so they just we'll just you're basically using a character's name for views. That's the way I look at it, because you can't think of a new character to do. But what you're saying, if they do different variants of a character, which they can do with a multiverse and different unit, that's fine. I've not got a problem with that.
Yeah, no, I don't have an issue with that at all.
No, Not with that.
But you know, I mean, it's all one way anyway, isn't it? Because you know, you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to Blade, and I wouldn't want to see someone like Blade or Luke Cage race swapped.
No, 100%.
I wouldn't want to see the Punisher race swapped or
No,
Superman.
100%. Their characters
Keep them-
work as they are.
keep them as they've been conceived.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. As they was visioned. Yeah, that's exactly. I totally agree with that. They should be left alone.
You know, if you want to do a female Punisher, you create a new, and they have done it in the comics a few times. They
Yeah.
create a female variant of the Punisher, not a variant in that sense that Marvel
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But there's a character, a female, that's introduced, and she takes on the persona of the Punisher. She
Yeah,
becomes
it's kind of like the What If Senate series that they did. They just
Yeah.
moved the characters about. So yeah, no, I ain't got a problem with that.
How do you feel about that?
It's like talking about making James Bond a black woman. It's like, why? What? Make a film about a black spy, black female spy. It'd be awesome. But leave James Bond alone.
I think all they need to do with the Bond situation is take the James out and just have just the 007 as the agent name. So
Yeah.
there could be.
Well, they tested the water, didn't they, with the last one?
Yeah.
Because they had the black woman being 007, and it went down
Yeah.
like a lead balloon. And I think now they've scrapped that idea.
Yeah,
But
I think we
it's
still might
not
do it.
being racist saying don't race swap.
No.
It's saying leave a franchise how it is and start a new one if you want to go in that direction.
but AJ just said it. It seems to only go one way. It's like I totally agree with him. I was talking to a friend of mine recently about Blade. And I said I'll be the first person to moan on the internet if they race swap Blade. You need to leave the characters alone because they work as they are. They don't need to be swapped around and messed around with. And like with comic books, AJ, I know this. You know, not disrespecting people that are into the MCU, but people like AJ and myself and you guys. I grew up with the comics. There was no MCU when I grew up. It was all comic books. You know, so to me, you know, I love these characters. So when they start messing about with them, it does upset me when they start messing about with them. Just leave them as they are.
This is called issues in certain areas, like with your opinion on just say She-Hulk. Obviously, you weren't blown away. People loved it, and everyone's got the right.
I didn't think anybody liked it.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's just I don't understand.
Yeah, it was the thing with She-Hulk. I didn't. This is going to get too political. This conversation. I didn't like all the man baiting digs that were in the show. That I didn't like. Like even still sticks in my brain. The comments were like with the guys in the bar, and he'll see a woman. He's like, "Oh, there's a woman over there. I want to go and talk to it," and stuff like that. And I'm like, men don't talk like that. You know, like especially, you know. And men, I had a conversation going totally off of films. I was talking to a friend about this recently. I said, men tend to police themselves anyway. Like if you was with a group of friends and a guy said that, you'd be like, mate, don't be a dickhead. Like what you know what I mean? And it was there was a lot of, and the whole speech that she gave about you don't know what it's like to be me. That made me not want to watch the show. You know, talking to Bruce Banner, a guy that's lost everything, you know, tried to kill himself. You know, I didn't like all that. I didn't like the putting down of his character to sort of lift her character up. I didn't like that part.
That's Disney for you, though, isn't it?
Well, it is at the moment, yeah. Unfortunately,
Well, you can.
They've ran Star Wars into the ground, haven't they?
They had no faith in She-Hulk.
no,
You
you
can
could
tell
tell.
that's why they.
That's why he was in it. Yeah,
and that's why every episode had to have a co-star, had to have someone there.
Yeah, 100%.
To bring people in. I mean, I think She-Hulk was a good representation of the comic book, but I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, there was a lot of baiting in it, and that's
I'm worried. It makes me worry for Daredevil.
Well, yeah.
but then obviously we could talk about Marvel where it's aimed at not for us anymore. But then you got stuff like Craven that's going to be an R-rated, which is brilliant. So we might have some hope for Blade maybe being R-rated Blade.
Well, Blade was not meant to be R-rated, was it, originally? It was meant to be PG, I heard, PG-13 or whatever it is in America. Now, I don't know what it is. But, the Craven film, I've heard...
them.
Yeah, I've heard Craven's R-rated, so I'm actually more interested in that now. Because the Venom films, to me, they should be R-rated films, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially with the inclusion of Carnage.
Yeah.
You know, I did wonder how they would do that and pull that one off, and they didn't.
Badly.
It was like a Saturday morning cartoon. A lot of these Marvel films now. Could you break them down episodic? Because I thought Ant-Man was awful, and I'm not. And obviously, I think Guardians would be good. I know I've only got a few days on that, and I'm quite happy James Gunn to have DC. I think we're in good hands. Maybe it's going to be a shake-up. And the Flash, you know, all we're hearing is good things about the Flash.
You know what worries me about Gunn with DC is he tends, in my opinion, the films he does best are like the group type films, like the squad type films, team ups. If he's going to do a Superman film, just Superman, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that.
Also, Gunn's good with characters you don't know.
Less known. Yeah,
do his thing with them. He can take a lot more liberty with the character.
Does anyone know what the new Superman film is going to be like? What time period is based on? Is it
a kid? Is it teenage?
Is he a teenager?
Well, I think it's based on loosely based on the All-Star Superman comic.
Okay.
That came about. So that sort of, I'm expecting a completely different visual aesthetic from it than what we've had before with a younger version. Henry Cavill isn't a fit for. I would agree. Henry Cavill isn't a fit for All-Star Superman. What that comic done, couldn't see Henry Cavill doing that. But you know,
what's our thoughts on Returns? I think Superman Returns is very good, and a lot of people hate it.
I think it's underrated. I think it looks better now than it did when it came out, but I think that's more to do with the state of cinema now, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But there's a few, you know, there's a certain actor in it. Obviously, he's not, you know, not well thought of now. But it sort of puts it down a bit, doesn't it? So I liked it. I thought it was good.
I never had an issue with it. I think it looked great.
No.
I think Brandon Routh is quite an underrated actor in himself.
And the likeness as well was they done.
Yeah.
Was he on Crisis on Two Earths? Was he on one of the shows? He was back, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Which is good. Right, let's get into Star Wars. Talk a little bit about Star Wars. First off, I've got a question for everyone about Star Wars. So R2, I said this to Lee earlier. Oh, he's gone a sec. R2 didn't get his mind wiped, yeah? So why didn't he tell Luke Vader was his dad? Because he can talk to R2. I literally. Come on. Where's he gone?
Because the writing department dropped the ball.
I've never even thought of that.
I'm back. Sorry.
He's back. So let's talk about, you know, for me, I say tolerated. I've had with Star Wars. I don't want to throw the word canon out. You know, there's so many different things out there. What's canon? What's not canon? With all these shows, you know, I wish Boba Fett should have stayed in the silo. I didn't need to see Boba Fett back, and then they've kind of pushed him up a bit. Where do we feel? I know, even when Huck's on the ship, you know, the mum jokes in Last Jedi. Marvel humor don't work in Star Wars films. We know that, but how do we feel with the stuff we've had? You know, I think the prequel trilogy is better with age now.
Yeah.
So let's go. Whoever wants to start this off, opinions on where we're at with Star Wars, what we've had with all the shows. Have we got too much? Who wants it? Throw it out there.
I think I'm done with Star Wars now. I think they've just milked it. They've absolutely milked it. I thought the Force Awakens was amazing, and then the other two after that was shite. Rogue One I thought was really good.
I love Rogue One. I really love Rogue One.
I can remember I was really anticipating that Obi-Wan series as well, and it was shit. They just made him this shadow of who he used to be, and it's just why do you keep destroying these characters people like?
It's like Disney have got a real hard on now for legacy characters, and they want to put down all the legacy characters now and bring all these less established, or without going political again, the female characters. And I watched some of the Star Wars celebration, and there was an actress there. She's from the new Star Wars show, and I've lost interest in Star Wars now. I really have. And she actually made a comment and said, because it's nice to have strong women because Star Wars is so patriarchal. And I'm like, are you joking? Like, have you watched Star Wars? Have you seen the female characters that are in Star Wars and how powerful they are and how strong they are? Yeah. Like, it's, like I said, I've got no problem with female characters, strong female characters, but it's the killing. I mean, what they did to Luke, was sacrilege to me. He basically meditated and shit himself and died. It's just like, what are you doing to these characters?
And drinking spunk out some sort of animal's prick.
Well, I tried to skip over that. I tried to skip over that scene. But,
I don't even know I mean, why did they need to put that in? It was just, it's another way of degrading him, wasn't it? And you just think.
And it's in the Lego game. We've done it a few days ago. We had to get through that bit, and that was in it. Porgs was in it, and them stupid caretakers in it, sweeping up nothing.
But the thing is, Disney are not listening because, as you know, the next Star Wars film is another Rey film.
Yeah.
So, and just one character I really couldn't take to, and it's nothing to do with being a woman again. It's just there's no character development with her. She's like amazing, and then even more amazing. And I'm like, there's no, you don't feel nothing for that. Well, I didn't personally feel nothing for the character. Like when you're watching it with Luke, you worry, you feel for him, you grow with him, you see he gets, he's tempted by the dark side, and you get all them emotions with him. With her, she was just amazing at everything. There's no peril, there's no,
But that's Disney females. They have no flaws. They are perfect.
My favourite scene in the new films was when I think I spoke to Rob about this, when Han died and they landed and she went over and hugged Ray, and I'm like, Chewbacca standing there, like, Chewie,
where's his medal? Give him his medal.
Give him his medal. Yeah, where's his medal? Poor old Chewie, eh?
So, AJ, how do you feel about? Is it too much now? I know we've got Andor series 2. You got Ahsoka, Boba. They reckon another series.
Well, yeah, they're milking it way too much. I mean, Boba Fett. If you'd asked anyone, if everyone would have said, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a Boba Fett show, and what do you expect from it? It wouldn't have been what they gave us. No one would have said, yeah, that's what I expect from a Boba Fett show. They completely ruined that character. Andor, I just couldn't get into at all. I was bored. I mean, I watched the whole thing, but I was starting to look at everything outside of the characters in it. I was looking at the bricks. I was looking at bricks. They got someone who actually, they got brickies on this planet. I was saying that, and I've never had that in Star Wars. Star Wars always gave us a world that was alien, right?
Yeah.
The first one when it was filmed in Tunisia, and you had Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru's house on the ground. I know that's a real place, but to us, the world was, was
believable.
Yeah, it was alien. It was alien. Yeah. Clothes were alien, and you got people running around with flipping Peaky Blinder hats on and that in Andor. So I couldn't get in with that. But it's the same with Disney are just milking this for money. It's a cash cow for them, and the same with the Marvel property. They'll just keep doing it and doing it and doing it until they've got all the money they can get out of it.
Yeah. It's only that Boba Frick guy up here. His race. He was only saved because Spielberg said you can't kill that character off. At the end, he's like, ha ha. We got another little figure. I think they're going to milk Grogu big time, and I'm a bit confused with the timeline. I think weren't they after Grogu's DNA to make the Emperor in the timeline, potentially bring him back? So in the race film, surely it's going to have Grogu in it, older. I just don't.
Do you know the scene, AJ, talking about that? You know the scene that done me was the scene with in the TV shows when they had the scooter gang.
The wrestlers.
And I was like, is this like Quadrophenia in space?
And that's slow going.
I don't know. Sorry.
And that's slow going as well.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. I don't know what Someone actually sat down with the designs of that, whoever it was. I don't know, and said, yes, we'll have that. We'll go with that. That looks fantastic.
It just don't work. The thing is, I always like. I mean, I think the new stuff loses it a lot because of the green screen and that stage thing they use now. I forget what it's called, but that stage they use from all their shows. The original, I know it didn't have all the CGI back then, but that's why the originals look so good, because it looked real, it was believable. The worlds look lived in. When I look at the worlds now, there's nothing. It's shiny and
bright. The new game, the new Jedi Survivor, which is awful. It's just a bland. I love Star Wars, but the game's awful. But I'll put it out there, and I'll get killed for that.
Yes, I'm not saying nothing. Move on.
As soon as I see them heading back to Tatooine, I'm just rolling my eyes. I'm like, oh
yeah, that's the only planet in the solar system is Tatooine.
Yeah, I know everything revolves around Tatooine.
Yeah, everything goes around Tatooine. You should know that.
Yeah, it's the centre of the universe, so everything happens.
If they brought Finn back and made him a Jedi, people would like it more. If they,
that's what they were hinting at, wasn't it?
They were hinting at that, didn't they? Originally, yeah.
Because they, that trilogy, they didn't. How can you have? We're going to make a Star Wars trilogy, but we ain't got a blueprint. We don't care where it goes. They just don't do what you want.
They also hinted Finn and Poe, didn't they? I'm sure of it. It wasn't just me watching. There's something going on with them too.
But it's like you said about the mum jokes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
In Force, when I first saw that in the cinema, Force Awakens, and that where he's on the phone or he's talking to Hux through the blimmin', and you got the mum jokes. I'm thinking, hold on a minute, Star Wars never spoke like this. The writing was never, the characters were never like this. Had that Earth human type of nonsense that went on.
Yeah.
Even at that point, I knew there's something wrong here.
Well, I was at the cinema with the wife watching it, and after it finished, I was still sitting there thinking, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like this. I didn't. Do I like this film? I don't know. It's like it's so bad. It's like I don't know if I should like it or not, and I didn't. Got a question about Scream 6. Oh. This is another thing that bothers me. With look at your Fridays, your Halloweens, and Screams. So the first one's fantastic. Good character development. You like the characters, and when it becomes a franchise, maybe 2 or 3 films in, all you watching these films are for the deaths. You don't care about his characters, and I think Scream lost it after Scream 2, and they're still making them. And same as your Halloweens and your Friday 13th. How can you? I don't see how you can just enjoy a film just for the gore.
I don't get that. I can't. Some people do, and I can't. If that's what they get off on, then hats off to them. Fair enough. I can't watch a film based on gore. I mean, it does nothing for me. I don't get excited by death scenes or anything like that. I mean, some are, they're well done in that. I can't, knock it. But in some films, like in the Hostel films, they're interested in that.
Yeah.
Bruce, but I'm not attracted to a film for that reason whatsoever.
Like you watch Saw, I think. Right, so 2 people set this whole trap up today. No cranes. They just carried this stuff in.
Yeah. That's the problem with the Saw films. Is I sit there and I think I had the same thing with. I know what a gory film. What was it? Escape Room.
Yeah.
Escape Room.
Second one's ridiculous.
And I'm thinking of the logistics of someone actually setting this building up with these rooms.
Yeah.
For this purpose, and I'm thinking, and it's the same with the Saw films. You think of the logistics of getting this, I think it was in Spiral, wasn't it? At the beginning, the first death is on the train track.
Yeah.
If I recall
They haven't got time to do that. They ain't got time.
The logistics of getting this set up and in place.
There's a train every 5 minutes. Okay, let's see if we can do this.
That's where my mind goes. It's like the Star Wars thing with the bricks. That's what I start looking at.
But then, can you forgive it? But where a film is made for that reason, for God, like just say Final Destination. The Final Destination films are made for the elaborate crash at the beginning and how you killing these off. Very different from your Screams, where you they want you to care for these characters, and they're going to die. So, what about you, Ricky, on that? Is it just, are you a gore fan?
I love gore films. I mean, look at the remake of I Spit on Your Grave. That's a horrific film to watch. But when she finally gets her hands on the guys who did that to her, and she kills them off in these horrific ways, it's fucking amazing.
But then they made 3 more after, didn't they? Did they make
they had,
Deja Vu?
yeah, that's number 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was.
Well,
that was crap.
I watched them the other day, didn't I?
Yeah, have you seen Deja Vu yet?
No, what I watched, I haven't seen the original either. I just watched the 3 remake ones.
The original wasn't great.
And with them, I mean, again, it's their sort of films that I'm very heavily critical of. But then when I watched the third one elevated the first one for me because it took it down a different path where it was the same girl returning from the first one, and it delved into her psyche and the effects of what she'd gone through in the first film and how it had affected her. And how it changed her and potentially turned her into a monster herself. And it and it did get into the revenge stuff, obviously, towards a bit later on. But I thought it was a far more interesting concept to do that with the character and explore the aftermath than just do a complete riff on the first one again.
Like bringing
Is it the second one where that kid had his balls in a fucking vice?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
But did you ever watch I think it was the Netflix Leatherface film? The newest one they made. And they brought back the character that survived the original to build her up as this heroine to then kill her off. You know, I think about 10 minutes in.
Yeah. She had no screen time whatsoever, just she was going to get him, and that's it, bang, gone. They're trying to make her Laurie Strode or something, weren't they?
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, if that's right, she went into the building, didn't she? And she's armed as well, and she just doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
it's like, I think she had a shotgun, if I recall rightly, and I'm saying shoot, or something like I can't remember, but she had the opportunity and just didn't take it, and then yeah.
So what was saying?
I love that film. That was brilliant.
It'll never get again, no physical release, but they released that I think the Hellraiser, the woman Hellraiser it come out just on DVD. We changed a bad form, to be honest. I think it's quite good. So Lee, what we're talking about then is films where like the first Scream film I know you're a fan of, and then when you go 3 or 4 films in, it is just about the kills, and it's like it takes you out of that film, and you're sitting there like look at Evil Dead Rise, thinking does a film work without Bruce Campbell? I'll give it a go, but they're using Bruce Campbell one-liners. I don't understand. If you want to separate yourself from a film as well, stop trying to bring it back.
Well, I had this problem with. I missed obviously the beginning of the conversation, but I think I get what you mean. I had this problem with Halloween, the 2018 Halloween. I really liked, and then the 2 follow-ups I thought were awful. It just. I mean, the last one, you know my opinion on that. But Kills is the second one, isn't it? Halloween Kills is the second one.
Yeah.
You know, I know people watch the film for the kills, but you like a little bit more story as well, not just someone walking around just brutalising people every 30 seconds. I know people like that. It's fair enough. But I like the original Halloween, the 1978 one, and the 2018 one I really like.
It was slow paced, and it was like you were scared.
It builds the tension. You don't need someone getting killed every 30 seconds. I prefer more tension and more story to it as well. Makes you care for the characters more. But
it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one, absolute classic.
Yeah.
And then after 3 or 4, Freddy Krueger was more like somebody you'd like to go for a pint with than.
Yeah, because it just got too comical, didn't it? In the end.
Yeah.
But then they went completely out of control with the reboot and make him. Obviously, it was hinted that he was a child molester, but then they really shoved it down your face in that reboot that he was, and it was like I find it quite hard to watch the remake because it was a bit too dirty and horrible, and it didn't need to be that way. And look, I love Freddy versus Jason because it is what they're going to do if they fight. It's so cheesy, but it's the peak. Like Jason X is fun as well.
Say Jason X is just
Jason X is he just wants his machete back. Do you know what I mean? It's got some of the best kills in that film, and it's just fun. But they go too serious. I think the remake of Hills of Eyes is better than the original.
Brilliant. Yeah, definitely.
And
Last House on the Left.
but although Dawn of the Dead is amazing, the original, the remake, the Snyder one, is fantastic.
Mm.
And there's, I think,
Yeah,
release on that.
They're
I'm going to
both
bring
good.
these comments up as we're going through. So I'm just going to have them playing in the background. So it's almost an hour already. So if you do you want to stay on for another 15, you guys okay? Or
Yeah,
Can do.
so I'll bring these up while we're.
Rob, you've never stayed on anything for
Why?
15 minutes.
We've got I've not heard of a film called Megaforce. Anyone?
Megaforce?
Is that a Power Ranger show? I don't know. I don't know if
It's
it's.
got to be, isn't it? That's
Never
like,
heard of
any of you guys seen Let the Right One In?
Yeah.
They've remade that, didn't they? I think they called it Let Me In. They redid it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's a fantastic film. The original of that is one of my favourite films. A lot of people won't watch it because it's subtitled.
We've got a question for Ricky here. Shared Love Anaconda.
Pardon?
Anaconda, I think Anaconda's an amazing film.
All of them?
No, just the first one.
Well, I think the bit where they're walking through the swamp and you see the anaconda go between their legs is scary, because the last thing I want to do is swim wherever in a water where I can't see the bottom. I still watch Jaws with my feet off the chair, even though you know it's not real.
You're not sat in water watching it, are you?
Well, yeah, as he gets too scared, he's normally sitting in water by the time the film ends. Jaws messed me up as a kid. Jaws, yeah.
Definitely.
So, AJ, you fan? Did you pick up that the Anaconda box set's quite nice? So I think Hoff was in the third one, maybe, or the fourth one.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah.
Do you
He was
own
in
that?
he was in the second Piranha remake as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He get off the chair and someone just die in the water. You don't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ricky, did you see Anaconda versus Lake Placid?
Lake Placid.
Oh, God, no.
I started watching it and turned it off.
Wasn't he a mechanical crocodile in that one though? I think they engineered him.
It was something like that. It was absolutely shocking.
Well, I'm going to ask your opinion because I've got the film and I still haven't seen it, so people are going to murder me in the comments. Is Crawl any good?
I love it.
Crawl's fun. Yeah, it's a decent film.
It's probably the best Killer Croc film I've seen.
Really, I've heard very mixed opinions on it. I've heard it's rubbish, it's good, so I'll give it a watch.
It's really well shot. It's a lot of tension. There's some good gore scenes in it. Some good jump scares. Sam Raimi produced it, so you're in safe hands there. Yeah,
I think it's best to go in with no trailers. If you didn't know what that film was about, it's a surprise, because it's obviously a lot of fears in one film.
I thought it was about Ricky coming home on a Saturday night after 2 minutes down the pub. What's it about?
It was like last night. I got fucking battered last night, and I'm struggling today. That's why I'm not on the alcohol now. When I was in my early 20s, I could down 18 pints, no problem. Get up at 6 o'clock the following morning, go to work.
You both are like brothers. You both are like brothers there. Look, what's going on?
Now, if I do that, I'm on life support.
Catches up with you, mate. Wait till you get to Rob's age.
Oh, I know. So,
how old are you, Rob? Come on.
How old do you think? I'm not old and I'm not young.
I got you down as a few years older than me. 47.
Oh, it's my beard. I'm 43.
The same
That's
age
nice,
as me.
isn't it? How old do you think Lee is?
You put me on the fucking spot here now, aren't you? I'd say Lee about same age as me, about 43.
50.
No.
Yeah, 50.
You're looking good, buddy.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Are we going to ask AJ? AJ can be anonymous. He's not going to.
No.
He's got that face like, but don't ask me.
No, I'm 47.
Okay. So we've got a comment here about, I'll put up there, Pumpkinhead. Remember the Lance Henriksen classic Pumpkinhead?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that creature had a great design.
Mm.
And didn't they make about 6 of them as well?
Yeah, there's
think they
loads of
made-
them, wasn't
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Try and keep a track of that in the Puppet Master. I think there's about 58 of them.
Oh, yeah, I've got all them.
You know, there's,
That
you know,
new-
there's-
That
know,
new
there's two
Puppet
new ones.
Master was pretty good.
there's two new ones.
I saw the one, the Littlest Reich or something like that.
No, there's two after that. You got one just about Blade,
Yeah, the Iron
Yeah.
Cross, I think it's called.
and there's another one that I maybe downloaded. That was a few weeks ago.
The one about
The
the
Littlest
Doctor,
Reich.
one,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, there you go. You know, Littlest
Yeah.
Reich, to be honest, is underrated because
I like it.
it's a good film. It's a good, gory, kind of fun film.
Yeah.
Yeah, it weren't bad. I didn't mind the Little Shrike. It was all right.
It was quite funny as well. So
I'm
we've
gonna,
got.
I'm gonna have to find that new one now.
Yeah, I've not
You
heard
can get it on
that.
Region One.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was out. I knew it was coming out, and I think I probably looked a couple of months ago with still no release of it. But
I'll point you in the digital direction after the stream.
I'm sure I'll find it.
So everyone's
I don't
favourite movie from Luke, World of Movies and TV. Is it one of them questions, isn't it, where you can't really answer, can you? It's not It's not an easy one.
Because it depends. Sometimes you want to watch it. You got favourite movies in different genres, don't you? It's like you can't pick one movie. I mean, I think everyone knows I love The Matrix. It's one of my favourite movies. Then I love Star Wars, the original Star Wars, the first one. It's too many. It's just you can't pick one. I don't think you can pick one film, really.
No.
I mean, that's why I've never done a top 10 or top ranking of films.
It'll be a top 50, wouldn't it? It's like
I can't find it possible. I will always cite Jaws as one of.
Jaws is fantastic.
I will say Jaws. When people say, "What's your favourite film?" I say Jaws. If I have to pick something, I'll say Jaws.
It ticks all the boxes, doesn't it?
Yeah, just something for me as a child. It was, I remember coming home from school every day, and it was Jaws or Star Wars that was on every single day.
Yeah.
And I think over time, I preferred Jaws over Star Wars.
Okay.
And I think when it got into the 80s, I think Back to the Future joined that sort of list. Do you know what I mean? One of the ones I'd come home and watch all the time.
Yeah.
What about Sharknado? Is that one of your favourites?
I've got all them.
You've probably got more on Steelbook, haven't you?
I've got steelbooks for all of them. Yeah.
It's a nice steelbook, actually.
Yeah, from Germany. I've got the red steelbook for Sharknado. That's quite a cool steelbook.
It's nice. It's nice. Yeah.
They're extremely rare because they only made AJ one. That was it.
Yeah.
The only one ever sold. He sold one.
Steelbook's better of all the others.
Yeah. It's the cheapest steelbook on eBay. It's like £2.
Yeah. At least they know that they're stupid, and they
they lean into it, don't they?
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rich, but
I'm going to bring up this comment from Bugsy Presents. We're going to be shocked at this comment. Ready? I apologise. I've never seen a Terminator film. Hang my head in shame.
What?
How old is this guy?
These people are out there.
I don't mind if he hasn't seen like RoboCop 3.
No.
Robot ninjas and flying. I remember going to this was in Thurrock when I lived in Essex. Going to Warner Brothers Cinema, massive banner for RoboCop 3. Thinking, I can go and see that. I think it was a 12, I think, or 12 or 15. Absolute shit, that film.
Yeah, that's the one where Nancy Allen gets killed as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But two's not aged that well either, with Kane in it. Two's like, is 2 bad? I don't know if I like it or not.
2 is bad.
Two was okay, but the first one's a classic.
I think the pacing in the second one is bad.
Yeah.
It's very badly paced.
Don't talk about the remake.
I've got it.
I think the remake's okay.
Didn't like
I
it.
think that it's too much CGI. I think, but it was okay
that's everything, isn't it?
We can say something about Dredd. Dredd's amazing, isn't it? The remake of Dredd. Well, another Dredd, haven't we?
One of my favourite films. Incredible film.
It's better than the Stallone version, obviously.
Oh, please, no, don't, please.
What
See,
the
straight
first
away,
5
as soon
minutes
as he
off with
takes
the helmet.
as soon as the helmet comes off, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
The Stallone one got the world right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the world's fantastic.
Right around Judge Dredd, just not Judge Dredd. Everything else was
It wasn't dark enough though. It wasn't, because I used to read 2000 AD, whatever it's called.
Me too, mate.
When I was younger, and you know, it's quite a brutal comic, that was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So at least the new one, the 3D one, they got it right. There's blood everywhere, and that's how it should be.
We are ridiculously beyond the comics. We've got comments. We've got questions about Dark Fate in this. Far behind.
You're a bit slow there, Rob.
We've got Kelly. Now, I've got a guilty. I don't mind Alien 3.
I
know you hate it, Lee. And I like Resurrection, because I think the cast of Resurrection, the crew are cool. They're a good bunch of people, but the film shit.
Yeah.
So what's our thoughts on, we won't go too long. What's our thoughts on part 3, or maybe director's cut of 3 and Resurrection? Who wants to start it? Let's start with Ricky.
I thought the director's cut of 3 was pretty poor. The theatrical one was better.
Was awful, wasn't
it? But I can remember renting it from the video shop when it came out, and I love number 3. It went claustrophobic again, like the first one, where they're in those tunnels and we've got no weapons or anything. So it really did echo back to the original. But
the cast of EastEnders.
Yeah. They're all the British guys in there, weren't they?
Yeah. Just randomly swearing.
And had Brian Glover in, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
The old wrestler, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I thought number 3 was really good. I thought it was very entertaining. I didn't like that the one after
Resurrection.
Yeah,
do you reckon 3 gets a lot of hate because of it almost like the T3 effect from T2, the Aliens to Alien 3, because of the second one being so good in both franchises? The third one's never going to be that good. Do you reckon that's hitted it? We'll go with AJ on that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think when you came to Alien 3, people wanted an extension of Aliens more than anything else. They didn't want to see a backward step. It's not, I enjoy Alien 3. It's well, out of them 3, it's the worst. Yes, I think it caps the trilogy off nicely though, thematically. At the end, Alien 4, Alien Resurrection, I think is a complete misfire. Tonally, I think it's all the characters in it seem like caricatures. They don't feel like real people. It doesn't feel like an extension of the Alien films. It feels like parody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still think they should have had that number 3 as a bad dream while she was in status or whatever, status sleep. And
I think they was rumors like,
I think I might have heard those, and that would have worked.
Yeah. I think in the extended
number 3 and carry on.
Didn't they pull up the face hugger at the beginning? And it was like a royal face hugger. It's one that can do 2 implants. That's right. One went in the dog and one went in the... See, I don't understand the special edition that come out of a cow instead of a dog. Like that was one of the cuts. Because obviously it'd be fast like a dog. And the whole not coming out of her at the end of the third one, I just didn't understand what the cuts they made. The bit where the guys all like, see the creature and let the alien out, that was a scene they should have left in. Because it makes sense how the alien escaped.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It seems to be a theme with the Alien films. Though. I don't know what you guys think, but I love Prometheus.
I didn't like Prometheus.
No,
I liked the latest one.
Covenant.
Everybody hated that, but at least
Covenant.
there was an alien in it.
See, where we differ, I didn't like Covenant.
Yeah, I just
where Prometheus was leading at the end, I was really interested to see where it was going to go. And then it just went off in a completely different direction with Covenant.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong, Covenant wasn't great, but at least there was an alien in it. Prometheus was an alien film, and there's no xenomorphs in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
I felt a bit shortchanged.
That's the thing. I think with what Rob was talking about earlier, the AVP AVP films, I think they lose, like the Predator as well, and the Aliens. They lose a bit of their impact because there's so many of them running around, getting killed. You're like, But the original Alien for me is still the best. The first one, Aliens. The second one's very, very close because it's what you don't need an army of them to make them scary. Do you know what I mean? It's just that how tense it is, and I think with the AVP films, because it was just like an action film, wasn't it? Really, all the way through.
Yeah,
they're not great. It didn't matter because you couldn't see what was going on anyway. So it
Ridley Scott, the main reason he made Prometheus and Covenant to put a stop of other sequels to the Alien films.
Yeah,
he hated the ones after that.
I heard that. Yeah,
and I think they're a little bit pretentious. The beginning where he's like the engineers and the bit with the lake and the DNA. It's like, what is this?
Yeah. I do have to ask you a serious question, Rob, before we go off.
Go on.
Have you watched Blade Runner yet?
No. So this is, if I look at me in shame.
Look at the silence. Silence. Look.
Because when I was younger, there were so many different cuts of that film. Yeah. And it kind of just surpassed me. And I literally just, I knew it was there. I only watched The Thing recently, but I've seen a lot of films, obviously.
I love The Thing.
But it's like, I didn't miss, I know what happens, I know what it's about, but there's so many different versions, I just let it go. And when the second one came out, I was like, well, I can't watch it about the first one. So I just waited, and then I'll watch it before next stream. I promise.
I think the second one's a better film than the first one.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I've not seen the second one yet. I need to see.
You should see it, mate. It's good, really good.
Well, I think
it was a sequel we didn't need, I thought.
I think Warzone is better than the first Punisher film.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that's my least favourite.
How do you find the casting on that, AJ, though? Do you think he's a good Punisher? Being such a fan of Punisher.
Say that again, sorry, who?
Obviously, the casting of the Punisher Warzone as Punisher, do you reckon he played a good role?
Ray Stevens, yeah.
I think Ray Stevenson looks 100%.
The face is spot on.
Yeah.
Have you got the still of that? You got the still, haven't you? Got the still, yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of nuances in the character that he does that are really good. Yeah. I think the film is tonally just off. It had comedic beats with Jigsaw that I didn't like. Yeah. The bits where he's like preaching and marching in front of him, flag and things. It just looked. It didn't know what it wanted to be tonally. I think that's the issue I have with it.
I think the story in the one with John Travolta was better, but the action and the violence in the Warzone one was brilliant, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, I can't get even the bit where when he hangs himself upside down from the chandelier.
Oh, when he goes round.
What are you doing? Why would you do that?
It's fun, isn't it? Yeah.
We watched that recently. What you thinking? No one just shot him in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that bit.
And did Warzone come out before Heath Ledger's Joker?
2008 Warzone.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you look at
Dark Knight was 08 as well.
Because when you look at Jigsaw's performance in Warzone, he's very ledgery. His performance, I think he looks like he's trying to play a Joker character. His Jigsaw, the way his mannerisms. If you watch it again, they're both very similar. So we're talking about
that might just be coincidence, because they were both 2008 movies.
Yeah. I bet AJ loved him in the TV show, didn't you, AJ?
No, I didn't.
Weren't good, was it?
No, I didn't. I mean, no, I liked him in Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
But then when he got his own TV show, John Bernthal, I think, is too much of a bruiser as the character. I think, as you know, I'm a big Punisher fan. I've read Punisher from beginning to end for nearly 40 years. And I think people who like Bernthal are people who don't really know the character.
It's the same. It's the same. I had this conversation with Rob. It's the same with Sabretooth in the first X-Men film, where he's basically like a dumbed down dog, and people that don't know about the character, how highly intelligent like the character is.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the Punisher. I get what you mean. They had him just as like a a brute, didn't they? And weren't very smart. So, yeah, I get that.
What's your favourite Punisher film, AJ?
Tom Jane.
Thomas Jane,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, it's Thomas Jane.
It's a good role for Travolta as well. He kind of lost his way a little bit after that.
Yeah, I think because that was around the time when Punisher became big again. The comics of Punisher became big in the 2000s, and that's where the Thomas Jane film came about. Although Thomas Jane isn't the best aesthetically, I think Ray Stevenson looks more the part, but there's something about Thomas Jane that I really like in the role. But like I said, I think the Dolph Lundgren one's good as well for what it is.
You'll probably know this better than me. So let's say when he fights the Russian.
Yes.
Is it true that he actually stabbed him?
Yeah, but not what you see on screen. That's not.
Yeah.
When he stabbed him, and it wasn't deep. It was only. Yeah, I mean, it was minor. It wasn't like,
Yeah. Someone's speaking about that recently. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as dramatic as what it sounded.
Yeah. And
it's not what you see.
And people that wouldn't know, it was an 18, same as Blake. We had 18 Marvel films when we was in our youth. We had.
Yeah.
So I don't see why we can't have it now. And the director's cut.
Blade is still one of the best Marvel films. Blade is an awesome film.
Yeah. So with the new Blade film, they're saying, last I've heard, he's not going to be a vampire hunter, is he? He's going to be a monster. So the minute you do that, you can lower the rating because the violence won't be okay. So with the vampire violence, with vampires generally you get violence anyway. But the minute you go to him being a monster hunter and it's monsters, you can lower the rating because thematically,
it's creatures. Yeah, it's creatures.
You can take it up a monster, not a person. But how comes that we can still get 18 Deadpool films? Where we can't get an 18 Blade film, or it's like.
Well, I think it's because
Constantine film.
Yeah, but I think that's because of where Deadpool. Because Deadpool's now gone. Disney now got Deadpool, haven't they? The next one's going to be. Yeah. So I'm going to be really interested to see how they're going to handle that. If it's going to be the same tonally as the other two, because Deadpool won't work. If Deadpool's a PG or whatever, it won't work.
No.
We'll have a quick fire round. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Quick fire round on these questions we've got here. So we not even. I don't know why we didn't even mention Prey. To take loads of Predators out of a film, have one standalone one.
Yeah.
Fantastic film.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I like Prey.
What, any more questions? Right. I would. It's Terminator. It's not Terminator for me.
Definitely Terminator.
Terminator or Punisher. Which one would you watch first?
Well, Terminator's
both. They're only about 2 hours long, aren't they?
Film, but I'd probably put Punisher on.
Yeah, I would watch both.
Right, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, this animated X-Men is phenomenal, and it's got an amazing theme tune.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, still remember it's awesome.
So we're gonna let these guys go soon. I am doing a giveaway. So what we're doing is, if you go back to the beginning of this stream where we done our intro, there was a theme that was playing. It's from a video game. It's a survival horror game. It's one of the games. I want you to put the title of it in the description. The first one to put it up will win this steelbook that I got it from CX. So we are giving this away. It was traded in at Dover, but I managed to pick it up.
Traded in by Big Paulie.
No. I found that. So that's getting traded. So all you got to do is that theme tune at the beginning. It's an instrumental. It's from a video game. If the first person after this stream to put what game it is, will win that. So I just want to thank AJ and Ricky for coming on. You're welcome back at any time. It's our first proper stream back, and we've not really. Obviously, AJ's. I think he's going to film his Christmas special now. Or are you not doing that
yet? Yeah, I'm going to film my Christmas special 2028. I'm that far ahead.
I think AJ's a little bit like Prince. When Prince died and they said, "Not wishing you dead, mate." When Prince died and they said he's got a vault with like 40,000 songs in. I think that's what AJ's got. He's got all his videos lined up, I reckon.
Yeah, I've said that before. If I drop dead tomorrow, you won't know for about 10 years.
So both of these guys' links are in the description. Anything you want to say about upcoming content you guys have got? Just obviously,
I've got top 5 most violent films ever made coming out. It's a
my wedding
scripted
video
one
on
again. Say again.
My wedding video on there.
Oh, bless you.
Itchy the Killer on there.
Say again.
Itchy the Killer on there. Any teasers?
Yes, I've got that coming. I've got a film coming out in October. It's going to be my first movie I've made, so I've been a bit busy with that and neglecting YouTube a bit.
You're going to be wearing wigs in it.
Funnily enough, no.
Okay.
Is it child friendly, your film?
No.
Oh,
It's a piss take of the Blair Witch Project. It's called the Old AF Witch Project. I'm hoping to get a Amazon Prime release, so we'll see.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah. So my first attempt, so hopefully next film I do will be a bigger budget, put a bit more time into it, so we'll see.
I made 2 films and they were shit, to be honest. They do random puppet films. They weren't the best. Good luck to you on them.
Yeah, good luck, mate.
And AJ, what we got up and coming?
I don't know. I don't know. What have I got up and coming? Okay, I've got to do I'm doing my next Defending a Dud, which will be next weekend, which is for Star Trek: The Voyage Home, Star Trek 5.
Okay.
That's one of the biggies, and obviously I've just started my series every 2 weeks, Desert Island Discs, which I know is a old thing from off the radio, but like we said earlier, picking a favourite film is very difficult. I've never done it, so what I'm doing is I'm going through each shelf, one shelf every 2 weeks, and looking at every title on that shelf and picking that one film that I would take with me.
That's cool.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, if I were to be stranded on an island.
Write it down. I'll do that next week. Well, when have got that on plan?
Desert Island Discs coming out in a couple of weeks.
Is that one film from each shelf, AJ?
One film from each shelf, yeah.
God, you need a big boat, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Have you got them in alphabetical order? Have you got them in alphabetical order, AJ?
Yes and no.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Standard Blu-rays in a sort of alphabetical order, but then I've got all steelbooks elsewhere. I've got
I'm the same. DVDs in one bit, Blu-rays
Star Wars in its own bit, Star Trek in its own bit. 4Ks are all grouped together. All the special edition stuff's grouped together. So at the moment, I'm going through the sort of A to Z shelves, doing it. And then obviously I will have some other bits in the week as well as the week goes on. But yeah, that's Saturday. So Saturday for that. I think Saturday evening for Star Trek as well. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And thanks again for joining. So we're going to knock you in the lobby. You can stay in the lobby to the end, or you can go. So we'll get you in there. But we're going to be on for like 5-10 minutes. Then we're going to be in the lobby. But feel free to join, to stay in there, or we'll see you another time. But thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
and we'll see you soon.
Good to finally speak to you all.
Yeah, and you, mate. Take care. Bye, mate.
Right, so that's the end of our first proper stream back with some guests we've never had on before. This is going to go into the duo bit we do. So me and Lee do this every few weeks. You guys know what we're talking about. That's why we kept it off this stream. But there's some important things that have happened the last few days, which Lee will address. And the people that are involved are obviously going to watch this. So if you want to take it from here, Lee.
Yeah, gentleman reached out to me in the Bounty Bunch. People that are here from the Bounty Bunch probably would have seen the comments, making sarcastic remarks. He then took it upon himself to private message me, and he kept private messaging me, I think, for 3 hours. This was on Thursday morning. I'll treat him like I treat all trolls. You know, I'll have a laugh, I'll take the piss, because that's what I do. He then crossed the line that you don't cross, and you start threatening people, and you threaten their families. And I won't say it on here because he said some fucking horrific things to me, which you don't do.
No.
You know, you don't cross that line. During the speaking to the person, he did mention someone's name from the other group that we've spoken about. And And because of the things he said that's going to happen to me and to my family, I've now got the police involved. The police have been to my house. They took a statement. They took evidence from me. It's not the route I wanted to go down. I can deal with trolls. If someone says they're going to come around and punch me in the mouth, that's fine. But you don't cross a line. You don't threaten people's family. You don't say, I'm not going to say it on here. Some of the things Rob knows what's been said. So he left me no option but to call the police. They're obviously going to speak to this gentleman. But this is just to the other guys. If you watch this, and you probably will, this gentleman's in your community, and he's still in your community. And I've reached out to you, Big Paulie, about this situation, and you've totally ignored me. And, you know, I just hope, I'm not putting it out there, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I just hope this is nothing to do with you guys. This is not something you put someone up to or egg them on. Because if it is, it's going to backfire on you very badly because the police are now looking into it. But I just want to say this. Me and Rob do these streams because we love films and movies and games. But we like to also do the other side, the comedy side, like to have a laugh. But unfortunately, some people can't take a joke. You know, it's a piss take. It's a joke. You know,
the bits we have done recently are piss takes, but there was a genuine. Obviously, we know where the situation started. It was genuine, and now it's gone out of control. So we're just having a laugh with it now. They've moved on. They've got nothing to move on from. We've done it, said it before.
Yeah,
we're the ones that were victimised. We're the ones that are, you know, people call names. But we're just doing it for something to do now.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, I can deal with a few nasty comments, but you don't. There's a line you don't cross. You know, I wouldn't cross that line. I wouldn't talk to people like that. You know, we all tell people to piss off and sod off, whatever, but you don't bring people's family into it and say you just don't do that. You just don't do that. So if this person's watching or the person who put them up to it's watching, I'm still going to carry on. You're not going to scare me into stopping talking or talking about what I want to talk about or having an opinion. That's not going to happen. But like I said, if you know this person, or maybe you're watching, maybe the person's watching, you need to stop because, you know, I didn't want it to go this far. But at the end of the day, you're going to fuck your own life up, not mine, because you're going to get nicked. So you need to stop there. A joke's a joke, you know, but just don't cross the line. That's all I ask. You know, if you want to leave me a message and call me a twat, that's fine. I can deal with that. Yeah. But please don't bring my family into it. That's all I've got to say.
And even the whole resolution of stuff, you know, we've made amends with people. AJ, for example, we never used to speak to him. We get on quite well. AJ's on our stream. We had a great stream, one of the best streams we've had with AJ, because we had that conversation. We spoke to people.
Yeah,
we're not speaking to people because we're holding a grudge. They're generally nasty people. Simple. So we're going to leave it there. Remember, the giveaway with this steelbook. Go back to the intro. If you can, that instrumental, put in the comments. The first one to put what game it's from. It's a game, and it was. All I'll say.
Careful, we're going to give it away.
It was on the Dreamcast first, and that's all I'll say. But thanks for joining. Go on.
No, I was going to tell you what it was.
All right. We're going. See you soon, everybody. Next week, next Sunday is a duo stream.
Bye, guys.
See you then, guys.
Thanks for watching.